Some of you may be freaking out or feeling anxious because you think you don't have the answer, but with the High Priestess here, the reality is that you already do. You just don't really notice the answer that you're looking for, even though your guides have already provided a response for you. I'm going to pull from a deck to maybe get more information about what this is, and then we can go ahead and get started here. You got the card Hot Chocolate, number 44. It says flirting, new connections, friendship and feeling, and get together. So maybe what this is talking about here is that the answer that you're looking for, or what you're wondering, a question to, it's pertaining to a connection that you have with someone. It doesn't have to be romantic. It can be, but not necessarily something that it has to be. You got flirting here, you got friendship and feeling and get together. So it means any type of connection here, not just romantic. It can be a friend, it can be family, it can be, you know, uh, someone who you are interested in romantically. So this is what this topic is about. This can be like a signifier if this reading is for you or not. So we can go ahead and move on to a different deck to get more information. You got a card that fell out here called Boundaries. It says, where do you need to establish better boundaries? This means that whatever question you have, I think the answer is pretty much that you need to establish boundaries with someone. Maybe they did something that you don't like. Maybe they, did something that might have affected you negatively. Or maybe they just weren't really treating you the way that you're supposed to be treated. And I think having a conversation with this person, no matter who it is, and telling them, like, hey, I thought that this is kind of messed up for you to do, and I think it affected me negatively. And what this reading is saying is that maybe you need to have that conversation. And it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to talk to them. Maybe it's a boundary that you can put on yourself where maybe you are kind of like keeping that energy away, even though they keep doing it or something like that. So let me pull one more card here to get information. You got the card Soul Family. Call in your tribe. You don't have to do it alone. So I'm kind of getting the feeling that this person is a part of your soul family. I think it's also mentioning, that your guides are here to help you. But I think more importantly, it's talking about that this person is a part of your soul family. And I think that, people always have some type of growth to do. So even though they may have hurt you, even though you may feel, very negative right now towards a person, and it doesn't necessarily mean that you're mad, it can mean that you're hurt or, anything like that. But I think right now your guides are saying that maybe you just need to have a conversation on maybe social etiquette or something that you feel bad about right now with this person. And maybe you need to talk about boundaries with someone where, I think the boundaries here will have a positive impact for you too, because maybe this conversation is something that you've both had to have already and just haven't done it. And in doing so, you'll learn more about each other, learn more about like what really hurt and why it hurt. And I think in the future, you can prevent this from happening again because of that. I'm going to pull one more card to close out this reading. So let me do that. Your last card here is Protection. It says call back your power, cut the cords, and soul retrieval. This is pretty much a card that's talking about you guys being protected. Not only, I'm not really getting the vibe that this is more about like cutting this person off, even though it kind of does mention this in the card. I'm more getting a sense of this as being you protected by your guides, by the highest power, by the universe. I think you guys are meant to be together in a connection of some sort. Doesn't have to be romantic, like I mentioned, but I think, it's just more about you guys learning how to love each other better. And I think the whole protection thing here even though it does mention cutting cords and calling back your power, I think it's more talking about a way for you guys to communicate together safely, where you guys are more protected and the communication is a lot better because of that. So your guides are protecting you. It's not just you guys. And I think this is basically what this card is saying. But that is it. I hope this reading kind of helped you. Please make sure to follow, like, and comment, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Thank you for watching.